Welcome to the call today on Database Mastery with Listings to Leads. We're going to go through the emails, the text messages, the calls into your database that you should be doing this week based on the marketing calendar at Listings to Leads. And so everything that we're going to talk about, you can do in a free trial. So if you're not a client and you're watching this on YouTube later, go ahead and sign up for a free trial. Follow along, pause the video as needed. If you're with me live, let's actually try and get some of this done together. I think if you attend a couple of these calls, you will literally get to the point where we can actually do a lot of this together. So that by the time you're off the call, you got either a lot of this done, scheduled, or calendared, so that you're not wondering what you're going to do to make sure that you're leveraging your database every single week. So let's go to Listings to Leads and log in. And when you log in, you're going to land on the dashboard here. And the first thing I'm going to take a quick look at is the marketing calendar. So I'm going to click right above the dashboard, go to the calendar. And if I scroll down to this week, we're going to see we got the listing that we normally talk about. This week for the PDF guides, we're doing a buyer guide for new construction. We got the sold pending that we're going to be making sure that we do. We got the iBuyer/cash offer email and script. And then we got down payment assistance. So we got a lot of great content for our database. And the idea here is to pick a couple of these items to select to get out to our database. A couple of things for our buyer leads, and that might include sending out our new listing that we're marketing this week. That could include the PDF guide for new construction. We send that email to our database offering that PDF guide. And we've also got the third option of sending out the down payment assistance email to our database. Three great things. I would pick two of them. It doesn't really matter which two of the three. They're all phenomenal. And then for our seller leads this week, we've got the sold pending, and then we've got iBuyer. And so the idea here is for our database is that we're going to email our buyer leads 2 times. We're going to email our seller leads a couple of times with information about listings in the area, which are always super important, right? We want to make sure that we're letting them know about new listings, about listings going into contract, because it's those conversations that have the most activity around them. So we want to make sure that we're constantly doing that on a weekly basis. And the other thing is targeted offers. So in this case, the targeted offer this week for buyers, there's 2 of them. The new construction PDF guide and the down payment assistance. And I'll show you an example here. This would be the one for the cash offer. So emails like this is a similar email to all of them. So we see got the subject line, the text, typically will have an image. Your Listings to Leads signature will be at the bottom. And you can send these out from Listings to Leads or from your CRM. So if you're using a CRM that's different from Listings to Leads, where all of your leads are at, that is not a problem. I will show you how to take this code, drop it into another program. Could be Constant Contact, Lofty, KV Core, Boomtown, Real Geeks, Sierra Interactive, right? It doesn't really matter. You can do this in pretty much all of them. And again, that is the idea of taking the emails from Listings to Leads and sending them out from your CRM. And you can see the beautiful thing about all of these emails is all the branding is to you. All the images are linked to different landing pages. So in this case here, you can see that's going to an instant market value cash offer. And this one in particular, you would either work with an investor or turn it over to an iBuyer program if you're not the one that's going to be buying the home yourself. We'll talk more about that when we get to it, but it's an awesome way. Not many people will take a cash offer, but if they do, great. Most of the people that inquire end up selling their home with a regular agent, right? They'll list their home typically, but the cash offer is a phenomenal way to get a conversation going with them. And again, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. So back at the marketing calendar here, once you've got your idea what you want to do, and so let's just start with the listings. I'm going to click on listing marketing, and you're going to see we got the checklist. And if I click download, that's going to have everything for marketing and listing. So it's going to have the stuff or social media marketing that we did yesterday. It'll have the stuff for geofarm circle prospecting that we'll cover tomorrow. But today we're concerned about the e-flyer for my database, which you see right here, and the database call script. So these are the two things in particular that we want to do, because with all of these emails, the emails are like greasing the skid. So when you're trying to push something uphill in particular, or even on a level plane, if I can grease that ground in front of me, and then I'm pushing the sled over the greased ground, I'm going to get a lot more result out of my effort. And it's the same thing here. If we send the email out first, right? If you send a text message out related to the same content, and then you make a phone call. And when we say make a phone call, we always say call two different groups of people. And this is true for all of them. So this is a global idea that you want to keep in mind. After I send out the email, so let's just say it's going to be the cash offer email. I'm going to send it to my seller leads, and I'm going to call my top 5 to 10 seller leads with the appropriate script. And then I'm also going to call the people that open the email after the first maybe 3, then 12, and then 24 hours. So I'm going to check my email, see who are the people that opened up that email, and I'm going to call them with the exact same script, because I'm trying to get my voice in the ear of more people so that they hear from me, they get to know me. I'm not trying to pressure them into selling. That's why we do this on a consistent basis, so that we're very kind of chill, right? Nice vibe with people. We're not trying to pressure them into selling. We're just trying to stay in contact with as many people as possible, so that when people do start raising their hand and they start thinking about buying or selling, we're going to be the natural people that they're going to go to, because they've gotten emails from us, they've gotten phone calls from us. They see our ads, they see our posts, right? They see our emails, they see us in so many different places on a consistent basis that we're going to be the natural people that they come to. So you can see we've got, for the listing that we're going to market this week, so we got the checklist. If you're not sure how to do anything, always refer to the guide. So we got a view step-by-step guide. And again, on every one of these items, and here you're going to see you got 4 options depending on the status. And this is yours or borrowed. So even if I'm borrowing the listing that I'm marketing this week, for sale or pending, we're still going to do the same thing. You can see here, there's a video, but there's also a walk text right up, and it's in order of the list. So e-flyer for database was a little bit more than, I think, halfway down the list. So if I scroll, perfect, a little bit more than halfway down the list, there's e-flyer for your database, where I walk you through it. And then we got the database call script. So the 2 items are right there back to back. Since I think I know all this already, I'm just going to, again, click on Monday, listing marketing. I'll go to market listings. So we got the checklist. I showed you the guide, and I'm going to pick a listing to send to all my buyer leads. So I'm going to do my open house. I hope everyone's doing an open house. If you are not where you want to be at in your business, doing an open house every week with the listings to leads open house marketing plan and our open house mastery is going to help drive your business to new heights. So ask me about that a little bit later if you need to. But so pick a listing, click market listing. And again, there's the e-flyer for your database. I'm going to scroll down. We'll take a look at it. Now this email, I'm telling you, I get so many emails from agents, because I'm on a lot, you can imagine, I'm on a ton of different lists. And there's no e-flyer as good as this one to market a listing. This is designed not only to capture buyer leads, but to also get buyer leads that have a home to sell. So you're going to see here right underneath that beautiful little rotating slideshow right there of the property, we got the information about the fact that when the home is sold, it will affect local home values. And they can click right here in the email, and they go to a landing page that's completely customizable. If they click here, they're going to go to the single property website. So if you got videos, you got your professional photos, your 3D tours, you can see their property video. There's professional photos, 3D tour, right? A lot of great engagement. You got your 100-point home marketing plan right there on the single property website. all the brochures. So yeah, you want to use this email. This email is amazing content for your database. So what I like to do is I like to just click send test email, and you'll see your email will come up. And I just like to make sure everything looks good. So then I would send test email, go to my email, and I would pop it out like this. So now you can see there's the email, and I would click the links. Look how beautiful that is, right? Pull that down a little bit so you can see it better. And so get this email to all the buyer leads in your database. If you want to use your own CRM, what you want to do is click copy code, go to your CRM. So I've got LionDesk right here. This could be any CRM or any email program. It doesn't matter. Now, I just want to show you how easy this is. So in LionDesk, contacts, and I just got a free account with them. I'm not really promoting them per se. And in LionDesk, again, it's bulk actions email. So I'm going to email 8,240 people. Now, here's where the email goes, but it's awesome because all we have to do is click this button called source. It'll throw a pop-up typically, and that's where I just click and paste. Boom, boom, done. Beautiful email. Look at that. Gorgeous. Got my signature at the bottom. Got that link to the landing page we just saw. The image and the links go to the single property website that we just looked at. Beautiful URL, 15 Ambient Way, the best listing, right? Every listing gets a awesome domain like that, awesome URL. And then the subject line, I'm just going to put open house in. I know it sounds silly, maybe not so simple. I just like to do status, location. That simple, straightforward, clear, concise is always a great way to get these open, right? Open house in Granite Bay, coming soon in Granite Bay, just listed in Folsom, right? Pending in Rockland, just sold in Carmichael. Great subject lines. I know it's super simple. It does not sound exciting, but it works. Now, touching on the pending and sold, you could, for the sold in particular, but we'll get to that in a minute. So get this email out the door, and I would say get that out the door today. It's Tuesday. So I would get that because you want to build it 2 a day. So I would get this one out today. And then going back to the marketing calendar, you might consider getting out your sold and pending today. And if you don't have a sold or pending in your account, and if you didn't do the ad in the post in the video yesterday, get to it. You're missing out on some of the best conversations that you can have on a consistent basis with homeowners and soon to be home sellers in the area, right? Every week we do 2 different things. We do a pending sold, right? A new one. Ours are borrowed every single week. Those are the best quality, especially for the price, seller leads on a consistent basis. Because then the other thing we're going to market with to our homeowners and home sellers is going to be that targeted offer, which this week is the iBuyer cash offer. But get the pending and sold. Don't skip this. I implore you, if you're really trying to grow your business, do not skip the sold pending, yours or borrowed. We did all the training yesterday on how to borrow a pending or sold listing. But again, you got the checklist, you got the guide, and we got market listings. From a click view to market listings, it'll take me right to my pending and solds. If there's not one here, that's a problem, right? If there's not a new one for this week here, this is content. So when you add this listing to your account, and you can see here, another home on Douglas Boulevard, that is a borrowed pending list or sold listing. And then this one here, 694 Douglas, that's my sold listing. It doesn't matter either way. Click the green market listing button, go to eFlyer for your database. And again, here's the eFlyer. And last time I didn't show how to send this to your leads in listings to leads. I'll make sure I do that this time. But similar to the listing flyer for the open house, beautiful little slideshow. And now notice it says, your home's value has been affected. So now we change that language around. And the beautiful thing is automatically, when you change your listing or you add a listing that's pending or sold, we change all the call to actions and all the lead capture to seller lead capture. And that's why this is so important to do every single week. yours or borrowed. When it's my listing, it's going to actually say 694 Douglas Boulevard in Folsom. We'll have all the great information. And also notice, let me share this. I'm going to share this link with you. Take a look at how I changed my property description. Once the listing goes pending or sold, do you need permission to borrow? Hold on a sec. To borrow a listing? Yes, typically for a listing that is for sale. Now, if you're with like some of the companies, I'm not going to get into mentioning company names, but some companies have it to where you can just borrow a listing without even asking within the company. But to ask your broker about how to borrow a listing if you need to. I've had clients tell me they were scared to borrow a listing. And then once they started doing it, they realized how great it is. Listing agents, even if the listing has been on the market for 3 months, it doesn't matter, because when you market it to your audience, it'll be a new thing. Even if they've seen it 2 months ago, when you market it, it's going to be different enough to where you're going to be able to accomplish your goal. Let me put it that way. So don't worry. All you need to worry about when you borrow a listing, is it in my sales area? Do I want listings and buyers in this area? If the answer is yes, great. Go ask if you can get permission to market it to your audience. You're right. I've had people tell me they've never been turned down. Right. When they ask an agent, hey, can I market your listing to my audience? And that's how I like to phrase it, because it's my database audience. It's my social media audience. Does that make sense? Now, with a pending and sold, you don't need to ask permission. And first of all, let me put this link into the panel for everybody. And let me know if you get this. So let me know if you got that message. There should have been the link to the single property website. And the reason I am sending it is I want you to take a look at the text, because I changed that text around to reflect the fact that property is either now pending, and then talk about my marketing plan, or that it's sold. And I give a little bit of color around it, make a little story around it. And I also referred back to my marketing plan, my 100-point home marketing plan in listings to leads. So now that we're good about the email, so if I want to send it from listings to leads, click the green send now button. I can select a different email. If I've got a different email, if I got multiple emails, I can select the list I want to send it to. So in this case, we default to seller, but I could send it to all if I want, or a custom list. But I got seller leads automatically, and click send. Boom, you're good to go. Alternatively, I can edit the email. So you can edit the email first. You can also, again, just like before, click copy code, go over to your CRM. And again, just like before, right? Contacts. And then I'm going to show you what a borrowed pending sold listing looks like. But again, this is, so you can see how quick and easy this is to send this out through your email or CRM. So again, here's the editor that we saw before, right? We're not typing in here. We're going to paste in via the source button. So just source, click and paste. Okay. Boom. There's our beautiful slideshow. Those are beautiful call to action. Those are gorgeous listings to leads email signature. And again, all I got to do, that's a just sold listing. So I'm going to put sold in Folsom. But now that it's a sold listing, I'm going to put or in 14 days, or with 3 offers, or $214 per square foot, or you get the idea. Makes sense for everybody? So on the pending and sold in particular, I like to add just a little bit of color to it so that it just gets people a little bit more excited to click on it, especially if they're thinking about selling their home, or if they're a homeowner, just curious about the market. So that's a great subject line like that. And again, either, I wouldn't send this to my buyer leads necessarily. There's no need for that, but I would definitely want to make sure I get this to my seller leads, all my homeowners. Any homeowner, any seller lead in my database, I want that to them so they can see and have a lot of great engagement from it. Right. So those 2 emails, I would try to get those 2 emails out today or tomorrow at the latest, because we want a day or 2 in between those emails and the next 2, because the next 2 emails are the targeted offers related to either selling or buying a home. multiple offers for sellers and buyers, and we rotate them. So we don't want to make the cash iBuyer offer here every single week. That's a little ridiculous, right? That's a little bit much. So we've got so many different targeted offers to sellers via the landing pages and the PDF guides. And so we're just going to rotate them every week so that we got a fresh message, a fresh offer to make these people. And so for this week, it's the iBuyer cash offer. And here I'm just go right to the marketing tools. We'll get a checklist up here soon for this. And then again, we're going to go to the e-flyer for your database. We got 6 different templates, it looks like. I like that middle one there, top row middle. And again, I can either edit, send, or copy code. So if I click on the send icon, it's that middle one there. That'll drop me into the editor. And then so from here, I can either send it like I did before. So select my seller leads in this case. I can send a test email like we saw before, which I highly recommend. That's the email we looked at a little bit earlier. And then here, since we're here, I'm just going to click schedule. First of all, let me change this. I don't like that subject line. I'm going to say, we buy Folsom homes fast or cash. Get your offer. Now, if you're going to use this email, you can't just use it without having a plan. Okay. So this is, I would hope that every agent has relationships with local investors. What an obvious relationship in my mind. Or you may be with a company, or you just may have a relationship with an iBuyer program like iList, I believe, and there's others out there that agents and I believe brokerages and companies have relationships with. If you got one of those, awesome. You can just refer as you get the lead, right? You can submit it from that kind of a portal. If you got local investors, you could submit this to your local investor group and see who wants to make an offer on the property. Because you don't necessarily have to, you are not the investor looking to buy the home necessarily. If you are, more power to you. I love you. I'd love to learn more about what you're doing. But the goal here is to get homeowners who are curious about selling the home for a cash offer to reply back. So then we can pass that off to either, again, like an iBuyer program that we're affiliated with, or to one of our investor partners to make an offer. Make sense for everybody? Nothing earth shattering here. And this is a great facility. This is a great segue into you maybe establishing some relationships with investors. Let them know you got some marketing offers to homeowners that you deal with for them to get a cash offer. Are you an investor that would be able to make a cash offer on homes in the area if I were to bring them to you? Right? What a great way to, and then, hey, bring them a couple of leads. Maybe they get a deal from it and you get to list the property after they flip it or whatever it is that they do with it. So this is a great way to both engage homeowners to get their attention, and then B, to maybe get some business down the road as you establish relationships by doing this. So again, now, because I just sent out my pending sold to my seller leads, I'm going to schedule this one for Thursday. So today's Tuesday. I'm going to schedule this for Thursday. So 10/29, I'm going to click on the calendar, go to the 31st, 9:30 a.m. That works for me. I will click schedule. Boom. Now we got that scheduled, right? You can see it down here now, scheduled. We buy Folsom homes fast for cash. Get your offer today. That's going to go out on October 31st at 9:30 a.m. Perfect. Awesome. Go ahead and close that out. And now let's take a look at the targeted offer for our buyer leads. And I am hoping to get information from my team that the CaseShiller marketing pack is live. I know it was so close to being live before we got on this call today. If we get that live, does everybody want to see that before we get off? We're going to have Instagram, TikTok swipe files. We're going to have the email blasts, convert it into social media post, and a video script. So yeah, if you want to see that, let me know before we get off, and I'll try to make sure that maybe I'll ping my team after I get done with this part here. So for the targeted offer for the buyer leads, again, just click on that day for the calendar here. Let me go back. So the 29th, that's this week. In fact, that's even today. I'm going to click on it. Again, we got the checklist, the guide if you need it. And I'm just going to go right to marketing guide. So click on view, e-flyer for your database. And here's the email. And again, right, as we talked about earlier, this week it's the buying a new construction home. And every other week, right? Every other week it's a buyer guide. Every other week it's a seller guide. And I believe we rotate like the top 20 guides combined so that they rotate like every 4 to 5 months, but that you're always making sure that we send the best offers in a proper rotation so that whoever got an email this month, they're never going to remember what they get 5 months from now. So it works out beautiful. Actually, more like 6 months. So anyways, this is the email. As we did before, I will send a test email. The first thing I always do is I send a test email because I want to make sure the formatting looks good. I want to make sure that the links work properly. I got an email this morning. I wish I could show you. I wish I could show you this email because from a client, and her email is from another program. Every single link, and the email looked fine. The email itself looked fine. Every single link in the email was broken. Unbelievable. I felt so bad. I'll probably email her back a little bit later and let her know that, like, hey, you know what? Your great looking email is absolutely worthless because none of the links work. Did you even send yourself a test email? And then what kind of program, right? I'm sorry, I'll bring the email over here. What kind of program does that? Like, how do you send out literally good looking email, every single image, right? This image here, boom, opens up a landing page. It's on my other monitor, right? I'm sorry, it's downloading the guide, right? There's the guide right there. So when you click the image, it just downloads the guide. Look, beautiful, branded, all your colors, all your logos, your beautiful photographs, right? Beautiful PDF guide. And the link up there, I believe same thing. Yep, that just downloads it. Awesome email. I got a lead notification. Let me know that some guy named Scott Pierce just downloaded my guide. Awesome, good to know. And so again, click send to. So this one I'm gonna send to all my buyer leads, and it click send. Now we're adding this. I think, yeah, we're adding this to we're adding the schedule to this right now. So if you're going to send this out, calendar to come back to this probably Thursday. So as soon as I send out as soon as the iBuyer goes out to my seller leads, I'm going to send this to my buyer leads. And it could be 6 hours later, it could be 12 hours later. The only thing to consider is I want you, again, every time I send an email, right, there's a script for pretty much every email. So call, again, in this case, this is going to go to my buyer leads. So I'm going to call my top 5 to 10 buyer leads. And the beautiful thing about these calls and these scripts, they are not salesy. They are really, did you get scripts? And that's why they work so well. So they all work very similar. So you'll see here in this, the database call script, it'll always start out something along the lines, let me see, I'll pick an Andrea. She was the first one to respond earlier. So I might call up, say, hey, Andrea, Scott here at Listings Leads. I just sent you my new guide for buying a new construction home that helps make the home buying process easier by explaining different aspects of buying a property. And I just want to make sure you got that. With the way the market is now and the inventory of homes, I'm trying to make sure that all the buyers in my database understand, in this case, it's buying a new construction home, right? How that works. So it's a great email. It's a great script. It's going to keep you in contact with your database. And especially when you send the listing first and then you send this, right? It's that nice little constant drop. So any questions on these emails that we're going to send out to our database, just go to the marketing calendar. You'll see all the emails for this week, right? We got the listing we're going to send to our buyer leads. We got the pending sold listing we're going to send to our seller leads. I wish I could come to each and every single one of you and sit down next to you and force you to make sure you're doing the listing for sale, yours are borrowed, the listing pending sold, yours are borrowed, because this is When it comes to consistency and messaging, these two things right here are workhorses for your marketing, your lead generation, your engagement, and your conversion. And then we walk through the targeted offers. In this case, this week for the buyer lead is the PDF guide buying a new construction home. Next week, it'll be, for the sellers, it's the iBuyer. And the next week here, you can see, we're not going to look ahead too much, but next week you can see the PDF guide will be for sellers called Secrets to Selling Your Home. And then there's also another one for sellers, Home Value Estimate or Invite. So that's the, what is your home worth? So I'm just showing that to you so you get a feel for how every week the messaging changes so that some of it's consistent, some of it's unique and new. And then the last thing for this week for buyer leads, option number 3. So I would only send out one or the other, right? Either send out new construction or send out this one. But again, here, marketing, the landing pages, or go right to the tools. I'll go right to the tools. We got the e-flyer for your database. And again, we got the great image. Stop paying your landlord's mortgage. You're making them rich. You got to love that, right? Then test email, boom, send. Betty, local builder told me to hold open on a new community. Any ideas? There's a great down payment assistance and credit to buyers. I want to do it. Oh my gosh, of course. God, Betty, come on, you're killing me. 1 second, Betty. I will point you in the right direction. I'd love to hear more about how did you. So Betty says here, a local builder told me, they literally told me to hold an open house at a new community. Any ideas? So, well, what's the story there? I don't think they probably didn't tell you. Did you approach them or did they see you and ask you, or how did that work? I'd love to find out how that came about. But in the meantime, here's that email, right? Click learn more. Oh my gosh. This landing page here is so awesome. All editable, of course. I'll show you where this is. But that email, right? Down payment assistance. When I clicked on it from the dashboard, we landed here. If you go to edit, this is the landing page. So I can open the editor and then just I got the image, I can put a video there. I can change the social media share image. I've got the form field. So if I want to collect different information, the text on the page right here. So Betty says, oh my God. Wow. Yeah, Betty. So Betty says she shares new construction home tours on her social media. And this is something, if you go to, oh my gosh, if you were to follow our new construction, and Betty, you are in a sense, let me go to the blog, type in new construction. Let me just make sure this is the one I want. Yes. Okay. Betty, let me give this to you. Those 2 things, Betty, and I hope everyone here doesn't mind, but this is a really great conversation. Real quickly, Betty, give me 1 second. Does anybody have any questions on database? We covered the emails. We talked about sending a text related to the email and then calling through our database after we send the email to do we got the database scripts from most of those emails. And you're doing a quick, did you get phone call? Leave a voicemail. If you get their voicemail, if you get them on the line, have a conversation with them. A lot of people are going to tell you to get lost. They're going to say colorful words, maybe. That is totally fine. You're an adult, you're a professional, you're a real estate agent. You are trying to find the needle in the haystack, essentially, in a smart, effective way. If you get someone that just says no, they're not interested, don't worry about it. Hang up on them and don't hang up on them, but let them go and go to the next person. We're trying to find who is it that we can add value to. And so again, greasing the skids with an email and a text, and then calling up again, you're going to spend 10 to 15 minutes, call 5 to 10 people, right? Touch base, get the discipline of talking to people, or at least reaching out to them. And you're going to see, just like what Betty's talking about, you're going to see some really good success. Now, Betty, yes. So this link right here, in here, I talk about this, in this write-up, you will be a new construction. Oh my God, I got the hiccups, excuse me. If you follow this training, you're going to be a new construction god in about 8 weeks. And actually, Betty, you're going to see here, it flows very nicely with what you're saying. And then, Betty, I'm going to point you in the right direction to even be a bigger rock star. So step one, identify new construction projects, identify new developments, add them to your CRM, make a file on them. So identify, here we got gather. So I want who was in charge of it, who financed it, who built it. If I could find even who the contractors were, right? I'm telling you, when you're talking to people and you can have a conversation that goes 3 slides deep, you are going to set yourself so far apart. And it's not that hard because in a lot of these places, there's a couple of builders that are pretty popular, right? There's a certain number of contractors around. You're going to be able to get this expertise pretty quickly if you have a plan around it. And this is the plan around it. Now, right here, notice, pro tip SEO, consider doing a blog post. And I'm going to add to that, Betty, because you're right. I got to add to that doing videos as well. Step 3, and this could be that listing that you're going to market this week. We talk about every single week marketing a listing that is for sale. It could be new construction. I've talked to so many people that blow up on new construction because of listings to leads and what you can do with it. So think about if you're going to market a specific unit or property. If you are, then add it to your account. So add it to your account. Mark, you'll do it. You'll do it where you're a showing agent. You're not, unless you are the listing agent. Great. Here I talk about being professionals. A lot of times builders, they may not be the best marketers, and you don't have to pay for it, but at least guide them through. Maybe you give them access, or you help them arrange a photography with a professional photographer. That maybe you turn them on to someone that can do a great drone video or just a property video. If you're good at it, like Betty here, who does new construction home tours, you could do it as well. And you can actually, all of it can be done, right? All of it can be done. Another option here is talking about how you can market an entire development. And so all the landing pages and listings to leads. So here are some examples. So in this case, we got closing costs rebate incentive that ends soon at Del Boca Vista Phase 2. Who here knows where Del Boca Vista Phase 2 is at, or who the most famous homeowners at Del Boca Vista Phase 2? Here's another example. So here, $9,000 in incentives at Park Condos. These are all listings to leads landing pages. So I'm just giving you some ideas of marketing a development, whether it's a condo building, a single family homes, townhomes, could be anything, right? Here we got new construction homes at Oak Reserve. Got the countdown counter right there. And let's see, what's that last one here? New homes at the Denali and El Dorado Hills. And now here's a beautiful thing. All of these could have been full screen video. You can put video to the left or the right of the lead form. And I don't know why I don't have any examples with video. Normally I do. But anyway, I can say that a little bit later if you want to. Step 4, build relationships with builders and developers for listing opportunities. So go through this and, as this is one of the things we talk about sometimes in social media mastery more so. One of the reasons you want to make sure you're marketing a listing every single week, yours or borrowed, is because it's going to make you a better listing agent. It's going to make you more confident in a listing presentation. It's going to make you more confident when you meet a builder and you can share the value that you bring to the table because you've got a database of 500 people and you got the skills to actually market, right? You're not going to have any skills marketing real estate if you don't market real estate on a consistent weekly basis. And that's a minimum. I got people that are marketing 2 or 3 homes a week, and most of them are theirs because they got started small, stayed consistent, and they built it up. So marketing 1 home a week is really the basics, all right? That's the minimum as far as the marketing listings that are for sale. But again, it's going to make you, if you do it every single week, you're going to get a lot more confidence. You're going to get a lot better at it. You're going to be better in your listing presentations, and you're going to be smarter. You're going to be more confident when you meet a builder. So we're talking about developing relationships with builders Again, every builder in your area should be in your CRM. Every investor in your area should be in your CRM. Step 5, talk about building a relationship where you are their marketing arm. All right. So we're not sitting here playing small. I've had clients that have become the de facto listing agent for builders in their area. And I'm not talking about a builder that has 1 or 2 properties. I'm talking about a builder that has dozens of properties where the listing agent, because they're able to show value, because they became an expert in real estate marketing, i.e. they use our calendar is all they did, but they were able to add so much value that they got more listings and more buyers because they were the new construction king, queen, ruler, or whatever you want to call it, of their area. So let me give this link to you all. And then Betty, hold on, because Betty, back in listings to leads. So now for the open house, let's say it's new construction real quickly. There's 2 more things here. We got just a couple of minutes it'll take me. I'm gonna go to listings. So make sure you add the open house that you're holding open for that new construction. So come to add, now if it's in the MLS and it comes in from a data feed, or if it has an MLS ID number, you can grab it, but you may have to add it manually, which is fine, right? Just select open house. We'll set the open house in a second. So just listed, headline, new, right? I'm going to mark it on the showing agent. And for listing agent, I just may say, I don't know why I'm just blanking here. Held builders, right? Folsom, CA. If it's new construction, I might just throw it in like that. Listing address, nothing earth shattering here. Just copy and paste from their information they've got. Save and add photos, add the photos. You can add videos. You can add the 3D tours in listings to leads. Let me show you an example of a listing with a video full screen on the front display, because especially if a builder's got a video and you can show them, hey, listen, I can both on the landing page and on my virtual tours or property websites, look at the domain I can give you for your listings. You got the best listing, America's best listing, different domains that you can select from. You can get a video right in the front. You got there's a 3D tour that you can put in there. You got the property photos. You can even put in a community tour. Oh, Betty, let me show you something here. If I go to YouTube, I'm on my other monitor. Does anybody want to see me throw maybe a community video into a single property website? And what I'm thinking here is just new construction. Because what I'm thinking is, you got a community tour video up on YouTube, and I'm just going to so here it is, new construction in Folsom. And so I want to find a video. Yeah, Toll Brothers. So I'm going to do it, then I'm going to take it right out because obviously it's not my video. But what I'm showing you here is how to take a community tour video that a builder may have and put it in the single property website or attach it to the listing so that people can access that community tour video from all of your listings to leads marketing. It's so easy to do. I'm going to say it's so easy, and I'll probably mess it up the first time. So let me see here. So I'm going to grab the video URL. So there's a URL. I backed out some of the stuff because I don't want it in the playlist. If you grab the playlist link, it won't work. So it's got to be just the regular link. If you do it and you're messing it up, just send it to our support team and they'll help you out with it. But so let's just say I've got a community tour video and I want to add, and this could be for a regular listing. Maybe you've got a community video for the city or for the neighborhood, and you want to put that with all your marketing because you want to show those homeowners in a listing presentation that you bring way more to the table than everybody else, and that in your marketing, you even have community tours. And it could be for the builder, Betty, right? So for builder, you want to show them, not only can I market this unit, but I can bring in all these other great value added content pieces into my marketing to present the best possible visual, right, presentation for the people looking at your beautiful properties. So I got my listing here, 5530 Douglas. I'm going to click edit. We're going to add a community video to this marketing. So under edit, there's a thing here called sections, and I can add a section, and I'm going to call it community tour video. And, oh, you know what? I need the code. So I'm going to go back to YouTube. Sorry about that. I don't need the link. Down here, there's a little button called share. If I scroll up there, see where it says share? If I click on that, you see that little symbol right there where it says embed? And notice, if I go back into listings to leads, let me just close a few tabs. All right. So back in listings to leads here where we were, you see there's that symbol. And if I mouse over, it says HTML code. And if I go back to YouTube, it's that same symbol right here. It says embed. So that's your cue. Just click it. And then all this stuff right here, if I just click the copy down here, it'll copy all that. So similar to what we did earlier with those emails. And just pop that in there. Boom. Oh, what did I do? Community tour video. There we go. Add section. Tab was added. And community, there we go. So community tour video, you see it right here, almost at the bottom. I can drag it up, and maybe I just put it right below the 3D tour. And so now when I click on view for this listing, and so Betty, this might be something you do. So there's my full screen video for the listing, whether it's new construction or mine. I scroll down, I've got a 3D tour, right? And again, that could be new construction. That could be standard, right? Regular for sale. Right below this should be that community video. Boom. And I can even make that bigger. So isn't that awesome? So what a great way to easily, add a lot of value to your homeowners and the builders in your area. But also, if you've got videos on YouTube, and if I believe I could even pull in probably an entire playlist. I think I can actually embed a playlist here as well. So Betty, if, for example, you had community tour videos, worst case, we could actually link it to the YouTube from here, or like I said, either single or even I think there's opportunities for adding a playlist. Anybody have any questions on this? I know we went a little bit out into left field, but Betty, did the information I just shared with you, Betty, help you out? Betty says, yes, great advice. Thank you. Excited. Betty, do me a favor. I'd love to get more information. Email me sometime, Betty, if you don't mind, a little info on like how you got started doing the community tour videos. I'd love maybe to see an early example and how you've evolved over the time that from when you started. I think it'd be awesome to hear that story, because I tell you what, as an entrepreneur that's been moderately successful here for the last number of years, when you start off and you put the pressure on yourself to have massive success, it's stressful, right? It's very stressful. If you just start off knowing the process and you have dedication, you've got the energy around it, you've got the passion with it because you believe in what you're doing, it is crazy. It is absolutely crazy, the opportunities that will come along. And if you were just to do the things I talk about here, those opportunities will come up. With that, I think I am good to go. Betty, are you good? I'm excited that Betty's excited. That is awesome. That's what we're here for. We love excitement. We went through, and I love it here. I see another client emailing me. What a beautiful email signature. He's got his listings to leads signature there. Looks beautiful. But any last minute questions on anything we covered today? We covered the emails, the texts, the calls. We covered a little bit about new construction. And with that, everybody have an awesome, one more, I'm sorry. Let's take a look. I'm hoping that email on the CaseShiller marketing pack went live. Let's see if it did. Let's see if it did. Oh, it didn't. Anybody want to see this real quick? So this is now live in your account. This is from this morning. The CaseShiller index was released. And so we prepared an email blast for you. And I'm going to walk you through how to send it and also how to do a social media post with it. So here's the email. I'm on the West Coast. We had to get up early for this. Beautiful. Oh, I love that graphic. Is that beautiful? This just dropped 4 hours ago, not even 4 hours ago. I'm going to send a test email. I'm glad we checked this out before we all left. This is awesome. You know what? I was testing it out earlier and I got all these copies. Let me do it again. Send test email. Boom, boom. My email's right there. Let's see what it looks like in the wild, i.e. live. Looks good. Let me pop it out of my monitor. Boom. Notice it's got my listings lead signature. Beautiful graphic. Read through this. If you feel like you need to, if there's anything you think in here is like just nuts, let me know ASAP. We went through it. We did multiple edits on this thing, but let me know if there's anything crazy. Otherwise, take a look at it. This is meant for all leads. So buyer leads and seller leads. So when I go to click send, I got to pick a list. I would just send that to everybody right now. All right. That's what I would do. Or you can schedule it. So let's say, for example, you want to send out I would send this out first, and then I would send out the emails for my listings. If I've already sent an email this morning for the listings or whatever, like we talked about, maybe wait 3 or 4 hours, but this is time sensitive. So this relates to current news. So we don't want to wait 2 or 3 days to get this out, because the longer you wait, avocado sitting on your countertop, right? You can wait a little bit and it's good, but wait too long, you're going to be throwing them in the trash. We don't want you to throw this in the trash. It's too powerful for that. Now, if you want to send yourself, also post this to social media, here's what you do. Until we build this out a little bit better, after you send yourself a test email, right click on the image, save image as, and I'll just call it CS 1030. What is the date? 1029. 1029. So I sent myself a test email. I clicked and saved the image. And then pretty soon we're going to start doing it where we actually give you the post where you can just click the post. We're still working through that. But this is kind of a new thing for us where we are providing news as content engagement. I'm just going to add the add the image to my post, excuse me. And I'm just going to format this a little bit. I might add a couple of emojis. And about 30, 45 seconds here, I've got a great post. So I got an email. We got the social media post. Right. Oh my gosh. That look good. Right. Come on. Tell me that image looks great. All right. You guys excited about getting this out there? And no one has left the call. That is awesome. Yeah. I'm glad you guys like this. Obviously, if no one has left this call yet, that means you guys are all digging this, which is phenomenal. So get that out. So let me see. Do I have the files? Let me see if I got the swipe files for this for Instagram and TikTok. I may. Let me check my other monitor. Excuse me. I know it's dead on the screen right now, but I am checking my other monitor to the conversation. Got to move all these like little pop-ups for the GoToWebinar around. And let's see here. No, I don't see. Oh, yes. Yes. Hold on a second. I like it. Let me just download and I'll pop it up over here. And then there's another one. Anybody want me to hand this off to them in the chat here? And let me see the other one. I'm not really sure what the difference is. Might just be color. Oh, one's for TikTok. Got it. Okay. I'm not sure. Okay. So the black one's for TikTok. And this one is for Instagram. Cool. I'm going to drop those into the post on Facebook. Everybody good to go? Everybody know what to do to get the email out and the social media post done. Also, I would do a short form video. Just use that email script. I'll move these over here a little bit. If anybody wants those, let me know. But use this and just record a video. The CoreLogic, hey everybody, I want to let you know that the CoreLogic CaseShiller U.S. National Home Price Index for August has been released, showing a 4.2 annual gain. Just easy enough right there. Record a video, get the video done. And then I think lastly, I would call whoever opens up the email and maybe my top 5 to 10 leads, seller and buyer, I would probably call. And again, here's the thing. This is not meant to be the sky is falling. We're not you clickbait people. So please understand, this communication, this content is not meant to scare people into buying or selling. It is meant for us to add value, to have a conversation, to engage, to be a guide for people that are looking to buy and sell. So could I write these to be a little bit more dramatic and clicky? Probably, but that's not really my goal. Does that make sense for everybody? My goal here is to be, I don't want to sound weird, but we just want to be reasonable. It's not really, it sounds so boring, but you gotta get my point, I think, right? The goal here is to have consistent, continual conversations. And if every week we're coming out with oh my God, now's the best time to sell, now's the best time to buy, you're never going to get anywhere. People are just going to start tuning you out. So with that, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. I'll let you go. Have a great day. If you have any questions with anything, either let a support team know, get into the mastermind group. We'll talk to you soon.